good speakers like Jamie, Dr. Mike, people as well known and stuff, but people's going to get just as much out of like listening to you guys, because it's like I always say, it's you're just ahead of these guys that's wanting to get into it. Like someone like me and Jamie, who's been training for like years and years, it's harder to relate. Where you guys you've been there and done it a bit more recent. Obviously, me and Jamie were kids when we started training, so it's a lot easier training as a kid as it is now when I'm 43.
And you've built that kind of mindset up as well through the years, haven't you? You know that the discipline and dedication you've got to put into it to get out.
Definitely. And again, that's we're live now, so that's been something I've had to work on. And before I always say to people, you need like a good reason to do something. And I've never had a good reason to train. When I was younger, I sort of trained because people expected me to compete because I was big. Then I went through a phase of just fannying about, and I would like start back at the gym. I'd put a stone on in 2 weeks, all my muscle would come back, smash it, and then I'll go and play golf for 6 months and not go to the gym. So now I've got a gym. I have to look reasonably half decent all the time because I own a gym. So for me, that's my reason. But previous to that, my reason would be like, I'm going to Tenerife. I want to try and get in good shape. I'll get in good shape. Then I'll just sack it off, same as everybody else. So I think it's easier for us as we get a bit older because we're doing it because we have to do it. Because if we don't do it, we're going to be knackered. We're going to be more tired. Your posture is not going to be as supported as much because you've got the muscle around it. Your knees are going to conk out a bit quicker. So we've got a good reason. And I always find with older clients, it's a lot easier to keep them long term because you're sort of fighting against time, fighting against, you know what I mean? It's when I started when I was 20, I could just pick a weight up and I'll just be shredded and like massive in no time. Now at 43, it is a lot harder, but I've been doing it for a long time, so it is easier than jumping into it. So obviously you're over 50 now.
Yeah, I'm 51 this year, right? So
51.
Yeah, I mean, it was probably Christmas of like 2017.
Yeah.
And I'd sort of gradually been putting weight on. I used to play rugby up until I was like 23, 24. Then I'd knocking my knee up.
Yeah.
And then over the years, you just gradually become a couch potato, don't you?
Yeah.
And something kind of snapped with us back then. So as everyone knows, I started the Slimming World thing, and that went all right. I sort of lost 3.5 stone on that, but nothing ever changed. Nothing changed with it. You know, body shape didn't change. It was weird. I was still fat, but I still looked fat.
Yeah.
You know, even though I losing that kind of weight. And then it was one of the guys that goes to the gym now, Steve Carruthers.
Yeah.
He was starting to do quite a bit of workouts, and he was starting to look good. He says, you know, you want to come down to Extreme and just see what the crack is. I says I don't really feel that kind of shitting myself, you know, just the thought of it, because my experience at gyms was like going back 30 odd years, you know, and then literally you've said earlier on about meatheads, and that's what it was. Gyms back then, it was literally meathead steroid boys.
Yeah.
Just basing it, wasn't it?
Well, you're less bothered when you're 20, aren't you? When
right.
when you're 20 and everything's a bit easier, you're not bothered about going into a meathead gym. Like, you don't give a
No,
shit at that age, do you? But as you get
no,
older,
no.
you start thinking about stuff more and probably creating images in your head mainly, yeah?
Well, yeah, exactly. So anyway, I thought, sorry, I'm going to take the plunge because, like I said, just losing weight wasn't doing anything for me, even though it was a good thing.
Yeah.
Um, so I came along, walked into the gym, uh, like Jill and Victoria have said, that first, you know, time going through the doors, you're absolutely crapping yourself.
Yeah.
Went in. First face I saw was Chris McClurry, and he gave me a guided tour around the gym. And you think, oh, everybody's looking at us. I'm a big lad. Blah. I was 17 and a half stone. Then when I came into the gym, nobody batted an eye. There was people. I think what really got us that first time, Chris actually mentioned there was some guy in there, and I think he was like 72, 73.
Yeah.
There was him, and then there was a couple of big guys and a couple of big ladies in there as well.
Yeah.
And it was like, bloody hell, this isn't your normal meathead gym.
Yeah.
So that kind of put us at ease, and then getting to know a few more of the staff and that. So yeah, I started coming for 2 or 3 weeks, and then I thought, I'm kind of liking this. So I made the decision I thought, right, I'm going to try and stick it out. I bought another month's membership that took us through to the August. And then obviously I started learning about the lanes.
Yeah.
And that's when I started with, it was like the class of 2018, wasn't it, the September lane?
Yeah.
So there was myself, Jill, Victoria, and we're still here, aren't we?
It was a good group, that one. Well, it says it's a good group when 3 of you are on here doing this talk. Yeah. And I think it makes a massive difference on the lanes. Like, I've had some lanes where it hasn't been as interactive. It's all been a little bit quieter. And then people pop the results up at the end of it, and you look and you think, who's that? Like, I've never seen them speak, but they've still got these good results. Whereas all of you guys, it was like an instant sort of bond, wasn't it? And you were all egging each other on and pushing each other. So, yeah, and again, that's out of our control. We can do so much in the group, but if we haven't got that type of people in who's like, that's their mindset to help people, to push people, support them. We can't just magic that type of feeling in the group.
No.
I think, obviously, Angela, your wife, is sort of going along her journey as well. She, like, when you see your couple's photo of where you were to where you are now, it's mental. And
that was a thing. That was the sort of thing, because I was doing the September lane.
Yeah.
But Angela was still doing Slimming World.
Yeah.
So obviously, everybody who's been on this will, raves about the food and Aga being a magician and all the rest of it. And that was the thing, the food's just brilliant, isn't it? Yeah. Nobody can knock the food. And Ange was saying, what I was having.
Yeah.
And, and she's there with, working out the sins for God knows, and at the end of that first lane, I think I lost nearly 2.5 stone in the 8 week.
Yeah.
And for the same period, sort of Ange had lost about 4 pounds or something like that.
Yeah.
So she says, right, she says, I'm going to come on to that. So there was if you can remember, we done a shortened Christmas Reloaded one. Yeah. Christmas Reloaded. So we both done that together, and that was just brilliant, because I think she lost about 1.5 stone in the 6 week.
Yeah.
And I think I lost about the same. So it was like I'd lost sort of 4 stone in from September to December.
Which is mental, isn't it, when you think about it?
Absolutely mental. But your whole shape changes.
Yeah.
And obviously you saw my pictures, and that was the thing. You go from being a big person who, you go out shopping, and first place you're going to look is the double and triple XL.
Yeah.
Real. You think, freaking hell, it's like a tent. and then you go to a point where literally I'm sort of in medium, and some of the clothes that I can actually get in a small, as daft as it sounds, but it's still your head trying to fit into that. How the hell am I supposed to get into that? And you do, and that is just such a massive absolute boost to you. It's brilliant.
Yeah, and I think it's one of them things that like you say, you can sort of drop weight in Slim World's Weight Watchers. They're not bothered whether it's muscle, it's water, it's fat. As long as that weight's coming down, it's a plus. But you go and try you're getting a large top to cover yourself, whereas like you get a bit of muscle, you want that medium top so you can see what you've been working out a little bit. You can see your shape just in that top there looks really good. And I think that's a massive difference, isn't it? It's like, you could lose the same weight in doing both plans, but it's like how you feel, how your clothes sit on you, how, especially with women and that, changing their shape. And it's hard to go from that mindset of getting on the scales and needing them to change to visually start to look yourself in the mirror. How did you find that sort of change?
It's weird, especially coming from a fella, I think, to actually want to look in the mirror.
Yeah.
When all you've seen for quite a large portion of your life is just a big fat lad standing there looking back at you.
Yeah.
So that's kind of mind blowing in its own thing. But I mean, just literally before we got started there, Angie's doing this current lane, and she's losing, but she hasn't lost in quite as much as what she thought she was going to do.
Yeah.
But she's just come down now, and said, "Bloody hell, I've just done the tape measure, and I've lost such off here and such." So it's, the numbers are good, but like you say, it doesn't always equate to how your body's shows it up as.
Exactly, because you build a muscle at the same time. And you guys, when we went into lockdown, you see all sorts of people react differently. I ate like a pig for 3 weeks. I didn't exercise. I don't know whether I felt sorry for myself or just thought I was on my holidays. But you guys have, every time I log these virtual classes on, you guys are there ready to go, first ones there. And I think it's good that you're both doing it together. I think we've had a lot of people start like our lean, and if you haven't got a supportive partner, they really struggle with it because
sorry, buddy. It must make it really hard because you're sort of almost living in two separate households within the one, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely. And if they're not in a good place and they're not wanting to do it, it's dead easy to sabotage. Like if I was trying to diet and Emma kept saying, "Should we just get a pizza?" I'm very easy. I'm very susceptible to eating crap. So I'll just say, "Yeah, go on then." And that's why I've got a coach again now, because I'm checking in every week. It keeps me accountable, and that's what I need to do. Obviously, I know how to do it myself, and half the time with Rob, I'm semi-doing my own thing anyway, but because I know I'm checking in with him, I'm not eating them extra cakes, I'm not eating biscuits. But honestly, like every single person who does lean, who's got a supportive partner, the results are at least twice as good. So, and then I like the banter between you two as well. When you're in a class and that, you sort of egging each other on,
Well,
which I think works well.
well, yeah, it does. It sort of brings out that competitive side to side,
Yeah,
and you've got to have that, haven't you? You've got to, you know, you've got to always try to look to achieve them goals. And what Dan and Jamie said before, I mean, I'm glad it's been taped. I mean, I watched both of them, but I'm going to have to sit down and go through them both again, because there was that many points and little things that they mentioned, and it just rings a bell in your head, doesn't it? And you, right, I need to think about that.
yeah,
And
and a lot of their stuff to say, when you think about it, it's common sense, but you don't think about it. And
no,
I remember both Dan and Jamie, they've had a massive impact on the way I think. And I think having business mentors, obviously they could just tell me what to do. I could ring them up and say, right, do that, do that. But you're never developing that next level of thinking. And sort of, we just before lockdown, Dan's dad's got really ill, so Dan sort of went offline for a little bit. Dexter had a lot of stuff going on in his own life in America, so I was just left to it. And it was like, you've seen The Matrix.
yeah,
No one to plug Neo into that machine and he learns jujitsu in like 2 seconds. It was like I'd been plugged into the Matrix. I'd been left by myself, but all the stuff they've been teaching me over these years, it's creating that next level thinking. And my mind was just, oh, right, I need to do this, I need to do that. And I actually shocked myself, because you don't realize what they're telling you and what they're sort of instilling into you till shit hits the fan and you actually sort of need it. Like we were doing our weekly mentor calls, and he was like, do you need out? He said, like, you've got that much going on. Do you actually need me to have any input? And we went through about 5-6 weeks of calls where he was just saying, excellent, just keep cracking on the way you are. But it's took me probably 3 years to sort of change loads of different things in my life, the way my brain processes stuff to get there. And I think training, nutrition's the same. And that's what I love about you guys, because you've been here now like a couple of years, and not many people get past, like, anyone can join lean and get good results in 6 weeks. Anyone can join a gym and sort of stick it out for 6 months, maybe even 12 months. But when everything gets harder, when everything slows down, that's when people just sack it off. So the reason you guys have been brought in, because you're a glowing example of a permanent lifestyle change, that, and all of yous you'll sort of inspire different audiences, like guys even guys over 40. Know what I mean? It's especially like guys over 50, even more. But as soon as we hit that sort of 40 age bracket, I noticed everything just gets that much harder. Your body aches a bit more. Stuff that you could do when you're in your 20s, you're just not capable of it anymore. So I think having that grit to keep, and I know you're very critical on yourself, you're very hard on yourself as well. And I've seen a few times where you've been checking in and not losing anything, and you're probably frustrated more than anything else. But the bigger picture is you've been at it for a long time now, so your body's used to it. So given your age as well, if you can put a pound of muscle on in a month, you've done an exceptional job. But it's not easy to see that, is it?
no, that's the thing. Sort of the lockdown coming at a bad time. You know, bad time for everyone, isn't it? But I was just starting to get into some one-on-one PTs with Ben.
Yeah.
And we're really getting some good workouts done. You know, wanting to improve chest and arms and he was giving us some really good advice and some good workout plans for that.
Yeah.
So, you know, the lockdown came, so obviously we don't have any weights as such. I mean, blooming heck, I don't know if you, in the virtual classes we've been doing, I've been using bricks for shoulder press. We were out the other night filling 4-pint bottles of milk, empty milk cartons with bloody pea gravel to use as kettlebell. You know, it gets the job done, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, just doing what you can to get through it. Really.
And that's the thing. Like, a lot of people, especially advanced gym users, as soon as them gyms have shut, they've gone to pot because they haven't got the big weights, the fancy machines. They've just thought, what's the point in even training? And I think everybody was sort of thinking maybe a month the gym will be back open, and then a month come, not open, then another few weeks come. And I think people have to, like, the government's already said it's going to be absolute quickest is for 4th of July, but that's all dependent on figures and death rates and the R rate. So that's the best case scenario. But from, like Jamie said before, the more we can do, like 5 weeks, my body has just changed dramatically and I've got leaner. And if we can come out of this at the other end leaner, like last week I started doing a little bit of gym work. When I've been going up to do the NHS meals and sort stuff out, I've started doing the gym. And instantly, within a week, arms are hard again, everything's come back. Like, you think your muscle just disappears. It's all a bit softer, but you've gone from pressing like 20s, 25s, and now you've got some bricks. Your muscle, it's going to shrink a little bit, but you've built up all them nuclei on them muscles by training. So as soon as we have the stimulus back in and you get back in the gym, honest, that last this week when I started back training, I've only done 3 sessions, and honestly, my body's just transformed in a week. So for me, I'm excited for when we do open. Everybody who's like stuck in a little bit, you're going to just, that first month, everybody's just going to, like, you're going to feel amazing. The excitement and the buzz in the gym is going to be phenomenal. So that's what's getting me by at the minute, thinking about that. But you and Angela's both smashed this lockdown. Like, really proud of you. It's hard.
Well, that's what, it is hard, but you know, you could just sit there all day long, just scoffing food, watching whatever shit's on telly.
Yeah.
But you haven't. I mean, as you well know, I've painted the house top to bottom on my own. Just the bang on the head. No, I mean, I'm just done all that, you know, all that sort of thing. So that's kept me busy. And I'm out and about doing, you know, gardening and stuff, and just keeping active. But we're always, you know, when we can, we'll do the virtual class a day, and we'll do a workout in the morning as well. So we're doing like couple of workouts a day, and then the other pottering about, which it all adds up.
All them. The pottering about bits, that's what people miss. And like Rob said to me, just do 10,000 steps a day. And I went for a massive walk. I burned over 1,000 calories. I got like 180 to 200 MEPs on my MyZone. And then I went for another walk later on. And it was only like 6,000 something steps. And I'm looking and thinking like, but I'm not walking to, like, parking up at the gym, walking about there, up the stairs. We're pretty much in 2 rooms. So all them little bits where we're walking to work, walking up steps and that, all that makes a massive impact on your day. So we're missing that at the minute. So the pottering about bit, it sounds insignificant, but it makes up a massive amount of the calories burned.
Does that up, yeah.
So obviously I've been asking people how they feel with lockdown, but it looks like you're taking all the positives you can. You're keeping up with your workouts and stuff. So I think you're both going to come out of this a lot better. As soon as you get back to the gym, everything's just going to, I think the problem with you will be trying to hold you back. And it's going to be like, a lot of people are going to start back at the gym, and the thing that'll do your head in, because you'll have been getting stronger, you'll have been lifting more, that's still in your head. So what you need to be doing is just having no expectations. Just get away, see what you can do, 8 to 12 reps with, and then each week increase. Don't even think about what you used to be doing.
No.
And just remember, it's your ligaments, your tendons is catching up, especially that first week that I've just done. I've just sort of done a little bit of everything to sort of prime it and get ready. And obviously I emptied all them dumbbells out on Thursday. Oh,
well, that would have been a bloody good workout in itself.
Oh, honest, picking them 70-kilo dumbbells up and walking them outside, I thought I was going to die, and that was just one set. But you forget, like, all your core and that's normally quite sturdy because you're doing stuff all the time. I was all dead wiggly, and my traps, they're sore to touch even now on a Sunday from Thursday. So I think for everybody, it's going to give your body a chance to sort of get rid of all the niggles and stuff and heal up a little bit. But we also need to bear in mind, when you do start back, just be sensible about it and build back up.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not getting any younger.
Yeah, exactly. But again, I always just say, age, it doesn't dictate what you can do. It's your mind, and you've got a good mindset for this. So I honestly believe that you can pretty much achieve what you want, but that mindset, and again, it's time. Like, a lot of people look at me when I do my photo shoot and stuff. Oh, like, look like that. I've been training for 27 years. You know what I mean? And like I said with Rob yesterday, with bodybuilding and stuff, you can't just cheat time. You have to put the time in at the gym. You have to train the muscles. But I love that as well, because somebody can't come in and just do 6 weeks and look awesome. And like, I love the fact that you have to put that time into it.
Yeah. You've got to go through the whole process, haven't you? It is a journey to get from here to looking like that at point B, isn't it?
Definitely. And I've seen some people start at older than what you are now. I've seen some people start like 55, 60, and by the time they're 70, they look absolutely amazing. So. And a lot of people, they're getting to like your age now, and that's when they start writing themselves off. And it's like, oh, I'm 50, I'm going to go and work a men's club every day. And you know what I mean? They sort of write themselves off, make excuses that you can't do it because you're getting older, or you're not as good as you were when you were younger. But when we get older, that's the time we need it more. If we're not putting resistance through our bones get thinner. If we're not using our muscles, they're not going to hang around. Just go, and that's when you start getting all the medical problems. So I think it's a perfect age to start, to be honest. So yeah, it's been a pleasure watching you and Angela both smashing it. And again, credit to you for being asked to come on this, because we've got so many good stories of people with good journeys. It was hard to pick, so the fact that you four I've asked you it's a credit to yourself. Anything else you want to add, or anything that you've sort of learned that other people can learn from you?
Again, it sort of goes back to the mindset, doesn't it? You know, if you think you can, you will.
Yeah.
You know, don't write yourself off at the first bloody obstacle. If you don't quite get it first time, just keep going. Don't pack up.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, just, you know, there's times in the gym, you know, where I was kind of thinking, well, I should be able to lift this or I should be able to do that. And I've sort of failed. So I'll lower the reps, I'll lower the weight and up the reps a bit more to build back up to it. And then I will get there, I will get to that lift that I want. But it's just be realistic with yourself and then just work towards a goal. And
I think, obviously, different types of training for different types of goal. Like when I was massive, when I was 20, I was like a freak. I was like ginormous, but never lifted any big weights. But like Jamie said before, I punished myself. I could go beyond failure and my muscles would be screaming, burning, but I would just keep going. So that taking myself past that comfort zone, I didn't need to lift heavy weights. So now when I'm 43 in September, I know that I don't need to lift loads of weight. And obviously, at 43, I need to save my joints a bit more as well. So that mindset that I've got when I was 20, it serves me well now as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. Yeah. Right. So thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.
I'm sure you'll have inspired a lot of people with your journey. And I like hearing about these myself as well. So thanks very much.
Well, yeah, no problem. Cheers, Matt.
Thanks, Ian. Bye.